Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about my thoughts and a review of the new Civil War II Spider-Man tie-in. The first part of this video is going to be my pretty much my non-spoiler review, my non-spoiler thoughts. And then the second part is going to be more of a spoiler thoughts review. Alright, so let's get on to the first part. I think you should pick it up if you are a Spider-Man fan, if you've been keeping up with the Amazing Spider-Man issues, and even if you haven't, you can pick this up, you can start reading it. You don't really need to know a lot of things. It pretty much begins with Spider-Man showing Ulysses around. They're spending a day together for Peter Parker to get a feel for him. And I put up the picture of the actual cover, and there's sort of, there's Iron Man, and then there's Captain Marvel, and then we have Spider-Man sort of debating which one, or like he's in some sort of conflict on which one to choose from. But I don't feel right now he is conflicted. I think he's gonna be more conflicted in the long run, right? But I think right now spending time with Ulysses and getting to have that experience of having someone who is there, knows the future, I think he's really getting a feel for it without giving too much away. When it comes down to actually choosing sides, I think this book sets up perfectly well which side he's going to choose up and why. So if you're on the fence of picking up this issue, I'm not going to speak for all of the tie-ins, the X-Men, the Gods of War, the different ones. I think this is going to be one of the better ones, and it just talks about the reasons why Spider-Man is going to choose the side he chooses, and why I believe he's going to do the things he does. And as the book develops, you can see that Spider-Man, or well, Peter Parker, is really growing fond of Ulysses, and I don't know if they're going to develop some sort of friendship. I'm not actually sure. So yeah, I think you should pick it up. I think it's going to be, as I said, one of the better titles. I might be wrong. Who knows? I have to read more. But for right now, fingers crossed that I'm right. And yeah, right now I'm gonna go into more of my spoiler thoughts. So if you haven't read it, or if you're planning on reading it, you can exit out of the video. So the issue opens up with pretty much Spider-Man fighting some, one of his villains, the Voltrons. That was pretty much a side story. That was sort of him getting sidetracked from what is actually the main story, and that is he's hanging around with Ulysses, and they're gonna stop something from happening, and they do. And he sees this guy, and Ulysses sees this guy, and he's like, hey, that's the guy who's gonna kill someone, who's gonna kill two people. And Spider-Man is like, he sort of doesn't want to profile that guy. He says, I think you're being a little bit biased. But he sort of sees the sign there. It's the summertime. He has this long coat, and he's just nervous. And so they do follow him. And it turns out that he was actually going to his ex's apartment, where his ex and her new boyfriend are. And he was planning on killing them. And of course, Spider-Man and Ulysses are there to stop him. The couple that they saved were really thankful. They were like, oh, thank God that you're here, that you got here just when he did, because he was gonna kill us. You can tell that Peter really likes this idea. He really just wants to help people, and he wants to do it the best way he can, because at the end of the day, Spider-Man is all about saving people. Even Peter Parker says sometimes, like, his personal life doesn't matter. It's all about saving people. And I think with this idea, seeing the couple's reactions and seeing how effective knowing the future will be, I think he's really gonna align himself with Captain Marvel and sort of engross himself with the idea that knowing the future and stopping future crimes is a good idea. So now Spider-Man takes Ulysses to Parker Industries, where he pretty much offers him a job. He tells him, you can see the future, you can predict the futures, and we have ideas. Parker Industries, we work on hundreds of projects. For everyone that works, we have dozens that don't go anywhere. But with you, we can know which idea will work and which idea doesn't work. So for the ideas that won't work, we can just toss them aside and work on and focus ourselves on ideas that actually will work. And so we can build technologies that prevent crimes, just like how you're doing. And I just thought that was a really interesting idea of having Ulysses sort of working on technology that will save people. And while they're there, he meets a scientist by the name of Clayton. He used to be a supervillain. I don't think I've ever read anything where he was involved in, but we have Clayton and we also have Harry Osborn. The issue pretty much closes on the idea that Clayton is going to become bad again. It's really kind of not ironic, but it was really funny because Ulysses was like one of the people that you work with, like the man is going to attack you, and Harry ultimately assumes it's Harry, and I think that would have been the more stereotypical way to go, but Ulysses says, no, it's not Harry, it's Clayton. And it sort of ends that way. And I sort of think that Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is going to do something rash about it, and he's sort of, he's going to talk about having this responsibility of having this knowledge. And if you guys remember Civil War, Peter Parker got the short end of the stick. I think out of everyone there, I think he's the one who suffered the most, who lost the most, and who suffered the most. Do I think he's gonna get the short end of the stick again? I wanna say yes. In Civil War he was a flip-flopper. He was all on Iron Man's team, and he saw the dangers of it. He unmasked himself. He let Tony Stark talk him into unmasking himself, and then that was the sort of thing that spiraled Peter's life out of control. He sort of has this naiveness to him, and right now this Civil War, it's not a superhero registration act. It tackles another beast. It tackles the idea that you can prevent crimes, that you can help even more people, that more people will ultimately survive if you can predict the future, and you can stop crimes. And I think this is the idea that appeals to him most. He's gonna see it that now that they know the future, they're gonna have a responsibility to stop it. And I think this is the whole key to what I've been saying, that foreshadows that this is gonna happen, that Peter's gonna make a rash decision. He's gonna try to confront Clayton. I wouldn't want to say he's gonna end up ruining Clayton's life, but he's gonna do something rash, because there's a part where Ulysses tells Peter, or Ulysses tells Spider-Man that his predictions don't always come true, and I think that's a very big key. I think that's a very big foreshadowment of what's gonna happen. But hopefully he doesn't end up getting the short end of the stick. I think he suffered enough, but if he does, it's gonna be interesting to see these things unfold. So yeah. And with that, I'm gonna end this video. If you guys have read the issue, tell me down below if you think I'm right, or if I'm in the right direction, or what your thoughts are about it. And I'll see you next time.